my committee, Bills and Legislation Committee. Thank you for coming. Thank you for respond in person to our invitation for you come. We have an important bill before us, the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Bill 2025, and Mifala look forward for hearing what now Tintin Blayu this one, the amendment hemi good enough. Lo side lo wakablayu controller or no mate help us to understand. I know that you're familiar with the process and privileges of my committee, Bills and Legislation Committee, having attended earlier inquiries. You have our privileges, parliamentary privileges. Please speak on us on those. Nothing will be held against you. Commissioner. I have my two colleagues here on right. Controller, sorry. On my right, thank you, Leader. Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Matiwale, and Member of Parliament for Auke Lanlana. And for the right, Honorable Frida Tuki from Vatu constituency. And myself, Western constituency as the chairman. Please, controller, you now have the mic. Introduce yourselves into the mic for our handset purposes and then make a presentation to us. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman and also the members of the Bills and Legislation Committee. First, Solomon Island Customs really acknowledge the privilege accorded to us as one of the important division in the government ministry of Ministry of Finance, who join with all the border agencies to facilitate trade and people in the international borders. Indeed, this is a privilege to share our views, our comments on the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Bill 2025. My name is John Lagi, currently the Supervising Controller for Solomon Island Customs, and accompanied me on my left is Customs Legal Officer, Junior Tefanoli. Thank you, Chair.
You proceed with your presentation.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Chair, by way of introduction, the Office of the Solomon Island Customs and Excise fully submit this preparation in support of the proposed amendment to Section 39(2) A of the Dangerous Drugs Act 90, Cap 98, as provided for in the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Bill 2025. We noted, Chair, the amendment proposes an increase in the maximum penalty from 100,000 penalty units to 15 million penalty units. And as well as the inclusion of life imprisonment as an available sentence upon conviction. The submission outlines the policy justification, enforcement considerations, and anticipated impact of the amendment within the Solomon Islands context. Chair, we also noted the context of Solomon Islands is geographically dispersed with extensive marine borders and multiple points of entry across the island and provinces. These characteristics create vulnerabilities, including maritime trafficking routes, limited border surveillance capacity, increasing transnational criminal activity in the Pacific region, and as well as use of small vessels and informal shipping networks. As the primary border control authority, Customs plays a central role in detecting and interdicting illicit drug importations. Chair, we also noted the purpose of the amendment of Section 39(2)(a) is intended to reflect the seriousness of large-scale drug trafficking, strengthen deterrence, and as well as provide courts with sentencing flexibility proportionate to organized criminal conduct. The increase, Chair, from 100,000 penalty unit to 15 million penalty unit represents a substantial recalibration of the financial sanctions consistent with the scale of modern drug enterprises. Chair, we also note the increase of drug trade in the Pacific, across the Pacific region. There has been increase in trafficking of methamphetamine and cocaine, use of Pacific Island states as transit points, and infiltration by transnational organized crime groups. Solomon Islands maritime domain makes it particularly important that domestic legislation sends a clear and strong deterrent message. Chair, the financial penalty increase from 100,000 penalty unit may no longer adequately reflect the commercial scale of traffic operations, the profits generated by criminal syndicates, the harm caused to communities. Therefore, the increasing the maximum of 15,000 penalty units ensures penalties are not treated as cost of doing business. The increase enhances the ability of courts to impose proportionate fines. The increase strengthens the overall deterrent framework. Chair, also the introduction of life imprisonment includes imprisonment signals that Parliament recognizes large-scale drug trafficking as one of the most serious criminal offenses. So life imprisonment provides court with maximum sentencing flexibility. Life imprisonment also reflects the severe social harm caused by these drugs, and also aligns drug trafficking penalties with other grave offenses. Importantly, Chair, the judicial discretion remains preserved. The court retains authority to impose a sentence appropriate to the facts of each cases. The operational implications for SI Customs, one, is strengthen enforcement and enforcement responsibilities. This amendment will require enhanced intelligence-led trend targeting, increase inspection at ports and maritime entry points, and stronger interagency collaboration. Secondly, evidence and prosecution standards. Given the severity of the potential penalties, evidence handling must be the highest legal standards. Chain of custody protocols must be strictly enforced in customs. Officers must be prepared for more complex court proceedings. And therefore, the capacity building is also seen as important for customs. This will necessitate training of our frontline officers, and update standard operation procedures, and as well as strengthening cooperation with the RSIP and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Chair, anticipated impact, if the amendment is enacted, that it is expected to enhance deterrence at ports of entry. Also, it will strengthen procedural leverage against organized networks. Also, it will reduce Solomon Islands' vulnerability as a trafficking route, and also increase public confidence in border protection. Chair, our recommendations were the Office of the Customs support the passage of the amendment to Section 39(2)(a) of the bill. Secondly, we recommends issuance of implementation guidelines upon enactment. Also proposes interagency operational planning before days of commencement, and updating the list of prohibited drugs in the Customs Act, and finally develop guidelines for enforcement agencies to ensure consistency application of penalties. Our general observation and gap, Chair, we consider whether additional support mechanism for convicted offender are necessary to reduce reoffending. And our conclusion, Chair, the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Bill 2025 represents a decisive strengthening of Solomon Islands' legislative framework against serious drug trafficking. The increase from 100,000 penalty unit to 15 million penalty units, together with the availability of life imprisonment, appropriately reflects the gravity of the offense and the evolving threat posed by transnational criminal networks in the Pacific region. The Office of the Customs and Excise stands ready to implement and enforce the amended provision. Thank you, Chair.
Finish now?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So you say for include him go inside longo schedule longo dangerous drugs block customs act. That will schedule him just a list of all the drugs.
Yes, under the second schedule, block customs and excise act, can we list him now what prohibited imports. So all the list of prohibited imports law got relevant government ministries, like for in this case, under the Dangerous Drug Act, there should be a list of what are prohibited imports. Or then Mifala Save reflect him or update him to list from Mifala this time.
So meth no inside list 8?
He, um,
inside law.
I think currently met him inside.
You will add more time.
Met, I think, inside law, blow. If I know say if I'm inside law, blow health.
I'm not inside law health. That's
So
why.
but mifa no garem updated inside law act blow mifa no garem updated list blow ota dangerous drugs at you. Only
Why not even know?
only some one section 11 him say na section 11 of schedule 2 yeah. Him say if any prohibited this is section him say if any prohibited imports prohibited from other acts law government but me first I take him yes.
Oh, you all cannot put them there if, say, on this case, health not put them under the Dangerous Drugs Act.
Yeah.
Yes,
You can't be proactive and put it there first.
Yeah.
yes.
Hey,
Him
you
hard
all must amend them.
him hard for me for that.
Can you help us give him that fella schedule and the empowering provision would I suppose be the standard, minister may make regulations or add to the schedule and so forth, but I think you must add him that fella, amend him that fella clause law schedule for say that give him flexibility law controller or the minister now do him schedule him and I'm not prescribing what by go schedule so that him not depend on any nara act more. No, nara act may take a long time for him to amend them, but minister sabe put them go on for new drug out, put them come to market, him sub including go list him also. You also have confiscate him, you also do something in there. But would it be enough to lay charges on persons who handle more danger or prohibited goods under Schedule 2 blue?
Actually, under the Customs Act, mi falagaram power for mi fala holem any goods that hemi prohibited under law of the respective or relevant acts, like in this case, the Dangerous Act. So, if the Dangerous Act identifies a law list, law Dangerous Act schedule, law list of what are prohibited importations, law drugs, then that list from this fella Dangerous Drug Act here now, by me fella reflecting inside law Customs Act here, under law schedule, second schedule.
Yeah, but my point is that you will not depend law at act that rules long or schedule and flexible enough that if you get health in this instance as an example, if you get low health the delay for adem go meth or any new type drug more, when you become aware of it, you will adem first time now. Is that possible or is that prohibited under your legislation?
Normally, me fella always make reference law.
Nara law.
Yes.
But that's only practice. Law allow you to be proactive and give flexibility.
That women me fella may not by government respond law, but always as me.
But just the way it's drafted, legal advisor, you belong there.
Yeah,
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
No look at man lang man.
Question lang lah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Name lo lang eh. Was a very wise man eh. Let me answer come. The way your law is worded, you're able to do this. It gives you flexibility.
Minus wa if bami fasa doing, but what him stated inside them is minus wa if bami fasa adim inside lo schedule. But what him tell him under schedule is me have to refer go back. If I'm prohibited under another act, then
Can you access your that fella provision and read him come in here?
Druga.
Section 34. Yes, Section 24, Chair. Goods prohibited or restricted to be imported. Section 34 and say the goods, the particulars of which are set out in the second schedule, are prohibited or restricted to be imported, as the case may be, save as thereby accepted. Second paragraph, the minister may from time to time by order amend the said second schedule.
Oh, so you've also do him no more, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, this time it is sure. You don't wait for health. You don't need to wait for health. Ministers are Adam gono, eh? Yaman.
Yeah. Minister say adim law the 12 section. Now one for section law before section 11. Yeah. Hem list him no. I think OPM or something. Tell him clearly inside.
Okay, it will go look good come more then it will right come, eh?
Yeah, but if I submitting come.
Yeah, we want to know that your legislation is adaptable, flexible enough that you can adapt to situations ideally before they happen, so that someone is charged when they're arrested. We don't want someone to be arrested, but there are no offenses, so we cannot charge him, as was the case last year, where we give rise to this fella meth amendment. The other thing I wanted to find out from you is, do you have data with entry points below me on where meth is coming through? Where is meth coming through, and where is it coming from? Where's the source of that supply, and who's involved in this? Last time was a Malaysian man. Now you mean also charge him? Is it coming from Malaysia? Is it coming on logging ships or log barges, or it's coming in normal goods, container goods, or where is this?
Thank you, Chair. Me just get him an officer that or the I think my colleague too. I think I'm involved to 2024 at that law airport now. Or the Holem one for a consignment. And no, actually, it's not a consignment. Let me pass on to one traveler from Fiji and come Lo Henderson. So I think that was when in 2024 that me saw that there was one. I think 2 packages that were
foreigner involved or local man blame?
Local name send him local name give him package for one for foreigner I'm coming.
I see. Local man not blame him.
Local man
Fiji.
Still Fiji. And pass him name for someone by collect him the airport.
Okay, so and then how now you will catch him? Because you want to get him in Dokilo terminal airport man. Just email him over the man.
No, I think there was some information that our officers I think got get them those information I think in hand prior to I think passenger arrive. So what the whole that fella through law declaration law passenger that him say that him carry package on behalf of someone law solo. So him not got the whole
Man, me whole kan package block man lo solo to man. But so for example, so you know, is it sheer coincidence that information kasimi fall? Me 2-3 times lo airport lo nandi some student come no, hey you so give him this my mommy blow me wait for him lo airport lo Henderson. You mean lo solo, you mean nothing in big, so, oh yeah, come hold him.
Yeah.
He put him inside lo briefcase now, mommy come here, what money, think him, money, a nice Christian money, you mean leave him go no more. Mommy hold him something, I think Ravisi inside, but him go now. So without that kind of information, hey, you mean vulnerable at risk a little bit, man.
Correct.
But you know, tell him what was me always, but
yeah, I am no situation, honorable member at that time, so. What I hold him and wait him that somebody for come collect him that package. So during that time, and people or someone come for claim him, then that is when do him check and were able to call the police, and police also come, and that was when police helped me take over law issue and probably further to testing law substance, yeah.
And what was it? Meth or cocaine or?
Meth.
Meth, yeah.
Yeah.
Then cannot arrest him because no any offense.
Yeah.
So really just sheer luck.
No, I think beforehand, that was like package I'm coming. Me follow with them police, me for doing operation. Ota been doing monitoring a little bit long time. So when that passenger him should come across, but them no come, him just pass him on. Him booking finished, but them go out back, then pass him on.
Local money.
Yeah, so I let him come from police. So
Fiji.
Yeah, police Fiji and police blame me here.
Oh, okay.
So me follow at your CID official of officials law police le me follow work together for hold them something like that. So time package no ma'am come inside me for hold them package then what forensic come for do check them then find him no drag them stay inside.
So man lo solo em lo Fiji em stop all come na em come back finish.
Em come across finish.
Una nem I mean, this is a trader in this substance, is he? Is a known trader, or is he just a user for personal use, or what's the nature of this?
Minus why if
Quantity too big for personal use?
15.5 gram.
Maksudnya big na? Fito man darang lang yaman.
Yeah.
Maksudnya what something good for another thing na legislation ya ot man ogat do mo sebe yumi putum na man also em tetekem putum face blow him putum name blow him for everyone who looks out and time walk go inside the village or say bakabana go yeah we need to really take a zero tolerance approach to this thing, but because Fiji baro was here, so if what MEC for move come from Fiji come lo yumi lo yeah. What about ogat seaports blow me?
There is some, I think 4 or 5 years back, there was one yacht that Mifal also doing search together with the police at here in front of the yacht club, and that was when one fella him actually the yacht him say him garam actually maybe other come for doing transiting, but yacht him probably garam engine problem, so the come anchor lawyer club, and that was when I believe there must be some intelligent information. Then customs and police also do check and also find them too some drug inside. And actually, when issue of drugs, customs doing search and identify. Normally, we fellas make referral of police, and police take over the cases. Yeah. So that was when I think 4 or 5 years back.
So you think blue commissioner law blue fella?
Yeah.
Is it robust enough? Do you have the powers to respond to changing situations, adapting? Evolving, because what many creative too, including one for name schedule 2 blue, but I got to go a little bit alter him, so I'm different name more, so then it's not covered by that. But the law blue seems to be where something flexible and adaptive could be put.
Thank you, honorable member. Where the power, where existing power that Mifala Garami said location sack is for hold and detain, confiscate, and we have got a prohibited importations, Mifala Garam power. And when that's why this fella list of prohibited imports, if I may, enlisted law second schedule, that by me guide them customs for survey which items na him listed law under law under law prohibited unrestricted imports. Then by that way, officers are inform of what na or the prohibited imports and exports. So when there is any check that happened and mifala come across him or the items that are list for prohibited and restricted, then normally mifala make reference logo the relevant agencies that are responsible for or the prohibited importations. Like in this case, by mifala reform law, Ministry of Health, because of not implementing the primary act.
Okay. But the legal advisor, looking any need for strengthening law belief so that it could be it obviously is one of the tools we have in our hands to combat this problem.
But need for me work them also law problem. Me no looking them by open up too much law changes where by happen. So I think you need for me for need for doing some changes law for making them robust enough for.
Can you? What would be helpful to the committee is if you go lulu good law and then you come back and say, what areas of same law me fala like for strengthen them to help in this fight, so that you may not totally dependent on DDA, and then perhaps even suggest some wording, any amendment long act because we could do consequential amendments part of this bill. We could recommend that amendment section also law Customs Act or Schedule 2 or something also. So propose that to us so we get a better feel for what changes need to happen. You were part of consultation or this bill?
Yeah, all the colleagues below me, I think.
Some Nara colleagues na go part of consultation on this one.
Who na Nara colleagues?
Talo University.
Floyd and Stewie.
Autoritaire?
No. Stewie, him advisor. Blomifala and him still stand. Floyd, me with him investigation. Compliance. Blomifala.
Story with him what? Would have been good for them to be here, making a dynamics law consultation process here, but discuss with them whether there should be consequential amendments to your opportunity for you to strengthen them law. Even if you may wait for full review law, leave that process, go ahead. But in the meantime, we need to be responding very quickly to this evolving problem we have in our midst. So you need powers to be able to respond well.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Honourable Member. As you rightly mentioned, Customs Act, I'm still on draft, and MIFAL are still under review. So MIFAL have a look onto some areas of improvement, especially in this DD Act, where it's necessary for MIFAL doing some improvement to current law act, draft act. Yes, definitely, but MIFAL go back and discuss with him those that are inside law consultation law DD Act for helping MIFAL too for as you mentioned, I think you committee him need for inform law any possibility of any changes for for getting you back. Thank you, member.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm good for including that fella with the dangerous drugs tool or bill below fella. Which if I'm not doing checking make sure all goods import must be well here. As same good for alarm. Access for spreading. Chimisawa this time spread all over the nation. So I think that customs now, I think him have to play a very important role inside law imports of goods and come in here. And law customs and whilst police doing security at borders for I think that one meeting chair me good for customs must be look into that for drug bills, dangerous drug bills, and for him in line with them one and two with goods where you should be look like, especially with the pharmacies import them a lot of different drugs for health purpose. While you may have to monitor him, those drugs him come in him for him destroy him with youths blame me and also citizens whereby I'm really affect him and give me more problem. Or you may not get smart people or inside law the communities blame me. That one I think him good. Chair. Thank you.
All kita sufferance wharves around the country, Lot Islands, and all the main ports, international ports, you got them to now. Okay, what level of surveillance is there? Time you will clear him out ships, you will suspect to. You mean no got him a dog here? A man. If you will need him dog, by me give him dog blow me will. Because I'm got a very sensitive nose. Narde me bruise. Bar run away from me no. Hot one no me give him. But you may need him. I think by you need him what kind tool also me. Some dog go inside lot ship here. No good now. You may think say, what do you do when you clear a ship? Arrive come. You know go check him every cabin and what something else me. Do you?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yeah, actually, when me fella attending discharge, what are goods loss sufferance, normally officers what on board, and as well as also for doing examination. Actually, the goods normally, what are clear finish, yeah, in terms of payment, if there is any duty tax due before any goods be offloaded, at a sufferance point. But inspection, that is why officers normally stay on board, and as well as.
But how do we know, for example, if I'm coming on for pallet, or plastic around him, and also me looking go, every cotton noodle or also me, but aware underneath one different cotton line. How do we know? How we just share luck them? We hope that we'll catch them, or inside the shipping container out in walling and put them inside, or how do we know? X-ray machine or port man.
Yeah.
People using?
Yeah, not at this time. I mean, now I mean, there was no machine used to port this time except airport.
Machine lo port, X-ray machine for container lo there for how many years now, man? 4 years or something? You won't use him because of this time.
Yeah, I'm stable there, but me no use him this time. Yeah, blow port. Yeah.
You will use him a little bit before?
Me go do him kind training law or something for how to scan him, container him, go through scan him, but me no use him.
Why not? You will less.
What? I think I'm got a problem too this time. I think.
Yeah, I'm got
I'm sit down, go dust go inside by problem. You want to use him from after training or something. What's good reason why you want to use him?
Thank you, Honorable Member. I think there was a decision made previously that what are on hold for using because of the machine itself may not relevant.
Ay, ano ba no relevant man, controller. This one out no using no because raw blow huba Jim Sutton ba o raw blow him and CEO kotiwala last time laport no personal nonsense blotuwala.
From that time, I think him halted for use. Yeah,
You must use him, control, use him. What money comes spoil him, you to foreign everyone, then to come round no more, then Jim Sutton and things him, Barawa, almighty Jim, no? So Jim, can you blame Jim Sutton by man?
Correct.
So I'm no more, I'm less for using something. But you mean, I'm surprised that, that's one tool we expect the customs to use. You will not even buy him two, port no, spend him selling for him, so. If I'm no good, fix him. Is it possible to get some dogs? I mean, I can give you my dog. Very good smell, but.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Me fella no look into that that project because me fella by doing some consultation or any help from those that, especially Australia and New Zealand, that talk about doing that fella project. Yeah, a new area where me fella by look onto, but especially how by me fella keep him, how the officers by train for using. I think it will take some time for
you. Me must take him. You mean no like him? First response is money no even come, shipment no even come from overseas, no come through our waters and into our territory. First response na stop lo you. And of course, once him come now the entry points again lo you yet more. And dogs, we have to deploy all the tools necessary if we are taking a zero tolerance approach. But right now, we hear no any zero tolerance. Oh, but we consult first time and learn how keep him a doggy, and I mean they're all important things. Me expect him, yeah, by me do me. Me will start law June something also. You me must do me. Me worry you to take it easy a little bit or something. Me.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I think, on that point, we will, by me, try look at where the possibility of getting this support, especially our friend from Australia and New Zealand, where already got those facilities in place. Yeah, so definitely we'll.
Mas one for dokilo Noro, Naron Henderson. Naron for here, report, Naron lo antap lo Leroy International, and then any Safran's Wharf too. Well, I suppose Safran's Wharfs, they'd clear the three main international ports here, man. Yep. So you could use the dogs there. Run them through every cabin, go smell them out bed or money, silip them. Go everywhere, because we have no idea how they're getting the stuff through. I mean, police this morning gave us some statistics on reports that got to them and amounts and also. But that's the only ones you will get them report. Our fear is there is much more affecting communities. In other words, there is a lot that's getting through you have no idea about, police has no idea about. So it's a much bigger problem than we thought. So our response has to be zero tolerance. Get dogs in. Man, stuck selling no more money, we waste them all boot low, any kind of nonsense no more. Surely the dogs are not that expensive to keep and maintain and also. But I think some of our local dog we should train him too, no more? Special type dog, this one.
Thank you, Honorable Atia. I think there's probably, the way I look at him, I think definitely by him take longer time for training too, with the dogs. Maybe from small up to certain period. But thank you, Honorable Member. I think it's important, as you rightly mentioned, a zero tolerance to this substance. I think we take note of the recommendation or point that you raised for Mifala. Start to have some dialogue with our partners, especially the ABF and also the New Zealand
Yeah. Australia, you go down, no, mas small doggy, makakam no. Eh, me no swim so all time you go, doggy comes to see me, me live to our tea. But we do need to take this approach seriously. Okay, well, thank you. So you will write to us after you have a bit more look at your law, and there is need for some consequential amendments in this bill to alter yours. That would be very useful to the committee.
Thank you, honorable member. I think the point too where Honorable Tuzi mentioned him too regarding importation law with a substance that contain drugs. Yeah? I think that could be also an improvement to Law DD Act, where in the list of prohibited imports, if any substance that what import him, maybe Ministry of Health, or maybe what a pharmacist, what import him into the country, if this substance can be listed inside law, Schedule Law DD Act, yeah, so that can help him to customs. And in that way, Ministry of Health should issue an import permit or even a license before water import. And its importation, water must have to have permit before any consignment come. With that, by customs, by himself, flagging inside law system so that any importation, such importation that may come in, that he may relate to drug or even to the importation of that substance for producing a drug, then he must be listed inside law Schedule Law DD Act. And that schedule should be reflected as well in the second schedule of the Customs Act.
That's a great recommendation, including you're right, and also the Pharmacy Poisons Act. Have a look there to see if there is anything there, so that DDA, Pharmacy Poisons Act, and Customs Act.
And thank you, Honorable Chair. Also, one could be as well as if other than that, there could be another possibility of not allowing any pharmacist for importing. It may be regarded as a prohibited import, but Minister of Health number should import him. Whoever pharmacist may like for using, whoever pharmacist like using for making Panadol also, him should go take him from Ministry of Health, not them importing.
Permit.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
importation?
Importation, him centralized.
Correct.
For certain class of dangerous goods, dangerous drugs. Oh, including common recommendation, before.
Yeah.
Okay, Comptroller and Legal Advisor, thank you for your wisdom this morning. It's very useful to us. We look forward to receiving further feedback from you, input long time it will right come. We appreciate very much. It's an evolving situation that government's response has to be robust, has to be adequate, fit for purpose. So I'm not concerned, Lohim. Sorry, just one last something. The amendment itself, I'm just for upon penalty, 15 million maximum and life imprisonment. We leave him life imprisonment apart first time, but 15 million. By me, effective deterrence. If Ogatman come law yote, if what here 15 million Solomon dollar. Bagot fright, they not by no traffic through Solomon Islands, or?
Thank you, Honorable Member. It comes down to the value of the importation or consignment. Yeah? Or
so value law, cocaine na last time that one man.
Yeah.
So value law cocaine last time lo yote how much street value bla? Australian dollar.
I think by police now, I think by other survey.
What the publishing last time, lo? Alan Sunny, we forget now. 30-40 million Australian dollars,
So I think 15 million. I think small too, compared to the amount we're about taken from the place with high ot pim high to most low the drugs, yeah.
Because I'm business no more. If I would say, oh, 15 million or solo, so also instead for you me take him go no more 1 ton, you me take him 5 ton. It's just a business case. You know, a percentage of it is if the risk factor. If you get caught, well, you know, we make way more nuts, peanuts. We can just pay it off. So maybe have a look at that too, and think lohem comment come lo what it should be. I mean, it's a hard thing for you me baro pin him down lo fine me talk about it. But at the moment 15 million looks like we're just plucking figures out of the sky with no real basis of you mean to say, oh, 15 million, yeah, for you mean solo 15 million biggie. But hogat man traffic here in 15 million might be no big no more. It's all thing around me.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Member. I believe these drugs come in purposely for transit, I believe. Because for us, Los Solomon, immunogaram silent for biome drug and for use. So,
but a little bit not to drop now. I mean, they're trafficking through, but I think a little bit them to drop it. So cocaine, you mean no any domestic use? Well, not that we know of. But meth is passing through. People are using it now. So although it's targeting Australia, New Zealand, perhaps, but some of it is being, you know, onshored or unload me. So
thank you, Honorable Member. I think Pamela team by look law that fala figure, if any necessary for put some more figures above that current 15 million penalty unit.
okay. Well, thank you, Thomas, for coming this morning.
Thank you.